hi everybody. Thank you for joining. Welcome to ICE at the International Coaching Week. My name is Andrew Newsom and I'm here on behalf of International Coaching Education, ICE. And we are pleased to have you all join us on this event, IWC, so ICW 2025, where we are exploring a coaching framework to retain talent, loyalty, and accelerate personal growth with Ingrid. Okay. If you haven't been to one of our previous events, I'd like to tell you a little about ICE. We provide a learning platform for individuals and organizations to learn and apply a strength-based coaching mindset and skills to create sustainable and meaningful change in their professional and personal lives. The coaching education programs are accredited by International Coaching Federation, ICF, all the way to the highest level, level 3, for master coaching, and the advanced certification in team coaching. Everyone who registers on a coaching education program becomes a lifetime member of the ICE community and gets access to continuous education and to collaborate. Today's event is one example. So hopefully the slide has changed. So I'd like to welcome Ingrid Kurtz. Ingrid has over 25 years of experience in sales, marketing, and customer support, including entrepreneurial roles in family businesses. Ingrid has developed comprehensive expertise in business management and culturally diverse leadership. As a graduate scientist with an MBA from Henley Business School in the UK, she is also an ICF Associate Certified Coach, ACC, and currently pursuing PCC training as well as Harvard negotiation trainer. Ingrid is characterized by analytical, innovative, and communicative thinking with great passion for people development, career advancement, and data science. As the founder of Penrose AP, Ingrid is excited to welcome you and looks forward to sharing valuable insights and engaging in a lively discussion today. I'd like to hand over to Ingrid now.
Thank you. So
Sorry. You okay doing that?
I'm sorry, Drew?
You okay doing the preliminary slide? Sorry, I forgot.
Die Freigabe.
Let me just go over this. So
do that first.
We would like you to stay to the end. We've got some promotions coming up. Okay, so at the end of the presentation, there'll be some promotions. I'd like to also make sure that your name is correctly spelled in Zoom, so that if we do talk to you, the participants, we're getting the name correct. So if you can just check that. I'm putting a form into the chat in a few seconds. If you can fill out that form, and that's just to provide, it's just to allow you to qualify for the promotion when they come through if you're interested. Okay, and there will be a form, we'll release it later on in the presentation as well. And if you can make sure that your microphone is on mute while the presentation, raise a hand, and obviously in the Q&A we'll open mics up. Okay, thank you very much. So I'll pass over to Ingrid now. And yes, I'll put in the chat the form.
Very good. So let me see if you can see my slides now. Did something change?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I can still not really see them, but that doesn't really matter. So thank you very much, Drew. Very nice introduction. And as well, on behalf of ICE, I'm welcoming and I'm honored to be the presenter today in the International Coaching Week. And this gives me an opportunity to introduce what actually the organization, the little small company I'm owning is doing. Company is called Penrose minus AP, and I will explain a little bit later for what this actually stands in terms of acronyms. However, what is it all about? And I really would like to start with the benefits for you here as the audience listening to this webinar. It is that we are delivering a coaching framework based on data analytics. which helps to retain talent loyalty and accelerates personal growth, especially in phases of business transformation. I'm pretty sure, but let me know in the chat if someone who is here attending today has not yet been through a change in his work life. I believe everybody of us has a smaller one, a bigger one, whatever it is. It's always a challenge. It is disruptive and it can have certain impacts. It can have very good impacts on the strategy of the organization because change is supposed to drive the organization further in his or her market presence and securing the businesses. For the people in the organization, it can be a difficult phase because it's a lot of additional things which are coming up through such changes, which we are not used to. We are doing our regular business. We are really performing very well in that regular business. Are we a leader? Are we a strategist? Are we a change manager throughout the change? Or are we a regular employee? We all do our very best to help our organization to strive. When the change comes, things change. And that's the big problem behind it. So Penrose is set up on the one side to help organizations retaining talents, retaining high performers. Because of that big feeling of things are changing, high performers have the tendency to say, well, I rather go. I rather leave. This is no longer an organization for me. This is something where I don't want to be anymore. And that is for the organization a big problem. On the one side, on the costs, because in most cases, people who leave need to be added on afterwards with other human beings, other personnel. First of all, it's in many countries of this world, there are severance packages given. There is hiring costs if the position has to be filled again. There is onboarding and training, so it can easily go up to 250,000 per talent who is leaving an organization because of the change. But maybe what's even more important is the loss of productivity. The know-how is going away. And it's maybe even going to the competition. So it's not only that my organization is losing really critical experience and critical know-how. This experience can then be of huge benefit for a competitor of mine. So that's the impact if change isn't respecting the people impact in an organization. On the other hand, there are people who really want to change. Employees, leaders, C-suite, whoever, all of us, we want to develop in our work-life career, at least in a certain phase of that work life. And that means we introduce the change to ourselves. And that brings a lot of unclarity in the first glance. So Penrose is set up literally with the very same methodology to support individuals to accelerate their career ambition, to really get a clear picture of what could be the next step. What is at the moment happening, which I really like and I want to continue with and want to even grow with, or on the other side, I do not like at all and I need a real big change here to be happy and satisfied within my work. On both ends, the Penrose model and the Penrose coaching framework can help, and that's the benefit I would like to explain to everybody here today. Let's go to the next slide. So how do we do this? We empower the change with data analytics. That means we blend qualitative and quantitative data for individual insights and provide a comprehensive overview, which immediately gives clarity for the decision making. For the company who is driving change and wants to have loyal talents really staying with them throughout and with the change, it gives really a very, very critical insights into what people in the organization see, which feedback they are giving, and how they would like to have the changing so that they can better go with it. Let me say it like that. You might now want to say, well, these people speak up anyways. My experience is they do not. They do not, because change in many, many situations comes with restructurings, reorganizations. And at this phase, people are much more fearing that they will be hit by the restructuring, that they might even lose their job or would be put into a different team, into a different organization. So they do a lot to not show up honestly and deeply. And this is why it's so important that there is an anonymous way for these people to share their thoughts. They want to do that, but it's better to give it to someone outside from the external world who can then summarize it and bring it towards the change management team, the strategy team, or whoever drives the big organizational change, giving feedback about what's good and what's not good working in that big change. For the individual, if we are not in an organizational change, but the individual wants to change, it's very important to get an easy and very clear picture of the current outside perspective, of the current situation. How do I see the world, my work life world around me? And understand it in a way that I can come to real good conclusions of what could be next, what could be coming next. For this, we have developed the so-called Penrose analytical tool. The abbreviation is PET, so anytime you hear me saying PET, please excuse me that I do not always use the long term. It's a special, unique, Penrose unique software developed for us, with us, and it helps us to get to the points where we want to go for. And that actually means it gets us to the pin. What does that mean? So as Drew shared, I'm currently on my path to PCC with the International Coaching Education, and we have a super great mentor. Her name is Sarah Saka. She as well will have a session here in the upcoming week, in this week. And the one thing she really prays with us all the time when we accelerate, when we improve in our coaching skills, is help the client partner with your coachee to find the pin, to find the topic, which is, or the 2-3 topics, which are really, really important to work on, to work with you as the coach on them. And she calls that pin, and that's why I found it funny and nice to put that here in the presentation as well. But what I want to say with it, the PET analytical tool is a great way to help in the process with Penrose to get to that pin. It literally works in the way that we work through 9 different, I call them critical success factors. It's something like the purpose of the organization or my own purpose in life. Work life, always. The way how things are communicated, stress and workload, how is the change being done? So there are 9 different huge topics which we go through in a qualitative way, means the person doing that evaluation or doing that tool, working himself or herself through the tool, is creating a text, is talking about what's going on. And how he herself perceives the world, the working world in which it is at the moment. This qualitative descriptions are then, with a little help of AI, analyzed in a word cloud. So we figure out what are the most used nouns and in which context have they been used by this candidate. And that gives us already a quite good picture about what's going on with that person and what's going on inside and outside of this client. Beyond and above, we do a quantitative analytics, and this is based on 2 criteria. The first one is an evaluation. So I would maybe ask Natalie, so how do you evaluate the performance of your organization at this moment in terms of the communication? How well is communication done? And you could then say, well, it's done super well, and you give it a 1, or you say, no, it's horrible, it's totally bad, and then you give it a 10. The second quantitative evaluation is you judge on the relevance for yourself about that. So how important is communication for you? If you give it a 1, it is not important at all. If you give it a 10, it's super critical for you. So giving you that, and with that example, you judge the communication with a 10, very badly done. You don't like it at all. On the other hand, communication is super critical for you. So you have a 10-10, and that's an indication that there is something you need to talk about, and you would bring immediately up. You will very likely have it as well in the word cloud. And we take this one then up and start our conversation, our coaching sessions. If you agree with that, and look into it and see what is it? What is it all about? Okay, so the tool helps us with a qualitative as well as a quantitative analysis to figure out what is at this moment in either the organizational change someone is in, or in the own driven change towards the next career step is going on. And we have a report available. We look at that report in the very first or maybe even second session, agree on the things which are in there, and then we start walking through the actual Penrose coaching framework. And this then looks like that. I promised you that I will clarify the acronym. So Penrose, as well as the AP, is standing for something. And the whole model then reaches out into, I would say, around about something between 8 to 12 one-hour sessions, where we go through topics like the perspective. The PET tool helped us to see the coach's perspective to the outside world. It is very important, on the other hand, to look inside oneself. So what is my perspective about myself? Where are my strengths? Where are my talents? How do I behave in certain situations? What might be holding me back? What is giving me, next letter, energy? What is really, really driving me up? And what do I love to do? What's absolutely important for me to see happening? On the other hand, there's maybe things which take energy away, where you might sit there and say, oh, I don't want to do that. I rather go and have a glass of wine and sit there and have a nice chat with my best friend instead of doing this thing. This is what absolutely not my stuff. So there are different aspects, obviously. We touch on negotiation skills. As Drew said, I'm as well on my way to get a negotiation certificate from Harvard Law School, because that's important. If you want to change something and you need others for that, you might need to negotiate with these others to really achieve it. So we look a little bit into these skills. We as well map out the reality. In many cases, all of us, when we are in a certain situation, could be a very good and happy situation, could as well be a very bad and nasty situation. We might not really have the best look into what's really reality. So it's my role as the coach to help the coachee to challenge themselves and get to a point where they can, with high confidence, really say, well, yeah, now I'm there. Now this is real. It's real. It's really, I see it. The last two letters, actually, OSE, obstacle, simulation, and engagement, that is the coaching excellence, let me say it like that. So coaching is all about, and that's, if we have some other coaches here in the call, we all know coaching is supporting the client not only to understand him or herself, but as well to come into activity, to go into action. To go into action leads to a change, right? And in this case, the change can be, I, as a talent in a restructuring organization, decide, well, why should I leave? I rather engage much more in that change. I'm a high performer, so I can make it up here. I can contribute. So let me sit down and get the obstacles out of the way. I'm going to simulate the best way how it could look like. And then I present to the change management team. I present to my management team, to the leaders, to everywhere. And I even create maybe additional projects for the change, whatever it could be. If it's on myself, on my own career, I put myself really in charge. I can't wait until someone is coming and giving it to me on a silver tablet, right? I have to go into activities. So I have to get all the obstacles out of the way. And the most easiest way, honestly, to do that is to simulate the perfect world, how it will look like afterwards. So this is quite a big module which we have here in the framework. And then the engagement plan is coming up. I like to call it the individual success plan, where someone creates his or her own project plan and tells us, well, this is the Ingrid, this is my plan, this is Ingrid's plan. So this is how I will work myself through and how I will achieve the promotion and the career I want to have, the next step I'm looking for. It's only working when I work on that by myself. And I can strive in an organization, which I actually loved to be before. It's only this restructuring, reorganization, the transformation, which is putting some challenges on me. So why not putting that challenges out of the way? I have the power to do that. So the whole intention of Penrose AP is to support someone who agrees to want to have that support in going these routes. Take the responsibility in your own hands. Is it for striving in the existing organization, or is it changing a career? Doesn't matter if it's in a transformation phase or if it's not in a transformation phase of an organization. It's for sure a transformation for myself in my work-life situation. Activate possibilities, that's the AP, and I guess I don't need to explain that anymore because that's what it's all about. The outcome out of that coaching framework, starting with the deep analysis, the PIN, so what's bothering me, what's really not good at the moment, but I need it very much, plus working ourselves through that model of Penrose will show up possibilities and will support the coachee to activate these possibilities and go for, a successful outcome. Very good. So now let's go for what Drew already mentioned. We are offering, together with ICE, some promotional stuff here. And Drew, please pull up the form again, so that if someone has not yet put in his or her information. Drew, are you still with me? Not sure if he is, so let me do that by myself. He had problems the whole day with, here we go. Okay, so I put into the chat a form which you can use to put in your name and email or whatever, so that should you be interested in this promotion, I can get back to you and let you participate in that one. What does the promotion look like? Actually, we have brought the PET tool into something which someone can do literally by him or herself alone. That's why we call it now PET Solo. In the past, we had it in the way that it was always accompanied by someone. Now we can do it, someone can do it alone, and this person will then get the report. And on top of the report, a very fast, usually 25 to 30 minutes laser coaching session. In the same session, when I will join the person and discuss the report, we will add a laser coaching session to immediately create for this person, or this person creates a very clear career vision, which is as well achievable. So all of that is complementary, so totally free of charge. You can ask for it. You will get the link into the tool. It's a personalized link. No one else has access. And it's anonymized, so your name will never be in there. And you can take your time. You just fill it out the way you want to fill it out. You get the report. And in one call afterwards, which you schedule with me in my booking calendar, we will go through the report, and you will get your to a status where you can say, yeah, now I know this will be the career step I want to go for. And
Ingrid, Anna's asking, is it possible to get it in French?
Oh, well, it might take a moment, but I would know a way. I would know a way. I actually know two people who very, very much speak French. One of them is actually French, and he will pretty be able to translate it. But I need to go back to Christopher. Christopher, can we add another language?
Yes, of course. We are fully set up for as many languages as we need. We would just need somebody to translate it into French.
Okay, but we go for J&J.
Yes.
Huh? Yes. Okay, so let me introduce Christopher. Christopher is the brain behind the tool. And I just have to say it, Chrissy, proudly to say he is my son. So we are family business here, and that's really, really good. Nice to see you, Chris.
Hello, happy to be.
Good. Whoever wants to do that, like we tell it here, you will get a poll in a minute where you can then tell that you want to participate in that and that you want to get get this offer. You will get, in addition, a 10% off if you then afterwards would like to continue and go with me personally through this whole Penrose framework. Of course, that's much more intensive than this 25-minute laser coaching. The laser coaching will already get you to a clear status, no way out, and you can leave it from there, no strings attached. But if you think it would be good and helpful to go further, then of course there will be some time investment of myself and others involved, and that needs a bit of charging. But for all of you here in the call today, I'm offering as well a 10% off. That's unique. That will never happen again. Maybe next year in the ICW week, but not further on in any other promotion. That was it so far from my end. I will hand back to Drew, and after what he will do, it's 2 slides, we will go into a wrap-up and a Q&A. So if there is any question still open on your side, I hope so. Let's go into a very vivid discussion about that. Okay.
Okay. You're going to go to the next slide?
I can do the next slide. Here we go.
So at ICE, we feel we must give you additional training, experience, and support over and above the ICF minimum coaching education. When you register for any coaching education program, you will be immediately upgraded to the Coaching Business Accelerator, which contains programs to increase your impact as a coach and generate more revenue from your coaching business with a lifetime continuous education and support. This in and of themselves has an additional value of £2,000 to £3,000, depending on which program you sign up to. The next cohort starts on the 18th of June. We are almost at capacity, but the first 5 people to sign up to L1 or L2 program will receive a 40% partial scholarship. So that's the offer if you're interested in training as a coach. I will now launch the poll. 2 seconds. It's only 3 questions. And again, this goes hand in hand with the form that we've already put into the chat. You should be seeing that now. Is that right?
I do see it, yes. And there
yes, I've seen people. And okay, great.
Things coming in, yes.
So yeah, so if you fill out the form as well, if you haven't already done it, this will allow us to reach out to you if you're interested for the offers that have been presented today.
Very good. We give you 1 or 2 more minutes and we leave it open so you can make up your mind. And I would say we are about 14 people. So I think we can you can open the mics and we can have discussion and Q&A outside of the chat, just while we talk with each other. I like that much more than following up in the chat. If someone doesn't want to talk, then please use the chat. But maybe we have people here who have joined who would like to, speak up and ask any other additional question.
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Irene. Thank you very much for your presentation today, Ingrid. It has been really, really insightful. My question is really about your experience in terms of client outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
Could you share if your clients have been able to successfully achieve their goals through your coaching? And what factors do you believe contribute most to that success?
Okay. Very good question, Irene. Thank you so much. I would say, well, in general, of course, every person I'm working with is different, and every person has a different story. Although we try with Penrose AP to bring it all into a structure, it is important very much to dive into the personal aspects of the one I'm working with. So let me give you maybe 1 or 2 examples. Worked with a very nice lady who was in a transformation, in a big organizational change, and was, a bit of fear, but as well needed to build up some courage to speak up in that organization in order to end up with a position and a role she was actually looking for. The fear was a bit about, will I even end up without a position, because there were as well layoffs happening. But it was more about building the courage to speak up and to say, hey, I'm here, I have that experience, I would like to really go for that position when it opens up. And so the outcome was she finally got it. That was really, we were both really, really happy about that. Another one was, not really in a structural change or a reorganization, but she had the feeling that she needs some more responsibility, and she wanted to grow within the team she was. She felt that she took over a lot of responsibility over the last couple of years, but wasn't rewarded for that, neither in her personal development nor even in her income. In our sessions, she went beyond the whole thing and developed actually a 3-step career plan for herself. First one, getting more responsibility, coming even with some more merit, with some more annual income. Second one, developing into leadership. And the third one, an ambitious one, which I don't want to lay out here because it's very private. So anyways, the first step done. She learned, she grew into her capabilities to really ask for what she wanted to have. And she learned to negotiate, and she learned to bring it to the point. She learned to listen actively to her managers and acting towards what they were saying. And ultimately, she got it. And at the moment, I'm working with a young person, a young man who is very much liking the company he is working for, but he's not liking his role in that company. So he doesn't want to change the company, but he wants to develop within that company into a different role. He doesn't like it because he is a sole contributor. There's no team around him. There's nothing. He's just alone and working alone, of course, with his supervisor. But as we all know, they don't always have the time over the day to reflect on things which are happening. So there were different ways of how to now approach that. And we are at the moment at the decision point. So will he apply for different positions in that organization where he might have a team around it? Will he go for a personal development, an additional education, which will help him then to apply for other roles in that organization? Will he do both? So this is at the moment an ongoing thing. We are pretty close on that decision making. I hope actually we have a call tomorrow that we will go for it. And yeah, that's, I believe, as far as I can recall, those people I had the chance to work with, they found a way to figure out what they really want to achieve. And it's totally different from person to person. And that's why my belief, coaching within the work life is important, because individuals need to be taken care of in the work life. It's not about work management systems, which have talent pools, which have, I don't know, whatever things need to be filled out. That doesn't help an individual to really go for what the person needs. So summarizing what I can say, yes, Irene, I believe most of them, all of them in different ways have been successful.
Thank you very much, Ingrid, for that response.
You're very welcome. Karen.
Hi, Ingrid. This is Karen speaking. I'm Global Head of Capability Building at Merck, and I have a couple of questions, actually. First one would be, whenever, I mean, there are always transformations upcoming, but when it's the next time, when would you recommend to do this and start with that? Is that, you know, at the very beginning or in the process, or is it that you say continuously? That would be my first question. The next one is, would you recommend to have this just with selected talent, or could you think of doing this with a complete team or even a complete business area that would be affected by such a transformation?
Okay, very good questions, Karen. My personal wish is to start that already in the planning phase of a transformation. Because if Penrose will come in the planning phase, everything can be set up in a way that it doesn't need to be rushed. Because as most of us know, transformations can be under quite a time pressure. And it's of much more benefit for the change organization to get feedback and input very fast, to even change the change process and optimize the change process. And of course, working with the impacted or with the talents on risk, which brings me to the second question. I usually ask the organization to validate about the people in the teams if they are, and who are the ones which are at risk to leave. If they would say, well, we don't know, which can be the case, unfortunately, some organizations really don't know enough about their people, then of course we can work with all team members and figure that out before applying PET with all of them. And that will really bring out the risk level of the individuals. Are they 10/10s all over, meaning really on the bad side, or let's say from 7 up to 10, is this all in the top right quadrant of the analysis? For a person, then the likelihood that this person is thinking about, oh, this is no longer a place for me, I need to go, is very high. If it's in the left down corner with 1, 2, 3s all over, then this is a person who doesn't think about it. And we can still offer that person some talks, but there is no need for a 10 to 12 hour coaching around that.
Makes totally sense.
Yeah,
Thank
start
you,
at the
Ingrid.
beginning to not rush. Doing big teams needs more capacity, of course, from coaches. And you might have understood that at this moment we are a family business. But I do have a huge amount of great coaches in the background. So if there is more capacity needed in a certain slot of time, in a certain time slot, then no problem to set it up.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? I've got one myself, Ingrid. You're taking a data analytics approach on the coachees. How does that system work? How do the details work?
Christopher, step in if you want to. So we have identified 9 critical factors when it comes to talent loyalty or career aspiration. I've done a lot of research before I started all of that. You might remember that you introduced me of someone loving science, and that came in place here as well. So I did a lot of research and agreed with some support from others in discussions that there are these 9 critical factors which influence a person's decision on these topics. So we put them together in an interview form, into an interview format with questions around them, and ask the person to describe the situation, describe how that situation impacts him or herself. Really give real life examples. Doesn't matter how long so how much the person is talking or how much the person is writing into Patsolo, because in that case he will do this not as an interview but as a kind of self-done survey. And with then all of this which comes together in a descriptive way, we do the AI analytics in respect to analyzing what are the main topics this person is talking about. So maybe I give you the example about this young man I'm working with who is not satisfied with the role. I think within the 9 different topics, he was at 7 times using the term team leader, boss. So he really explained in everything he was talking about that there is something happening in his relationship with his management, just to give you an example. And then there is this quantitative analysis where there's just a scrolling bar. You saw it a little bit on the screen in one of the slides, where the person can say, well, from my evaluation about the performance of the organization, the team, the company, that is all defined, of course, up front, is doing here. How good are they with this topic? Let's come back to the example of communication. big part in change. Everybody is complaining about the communication is so bad. So we took that up, and if the person doing PET gives it a 1, he says, well, I'm super happy. They do everything very well. I love it. It's perfect. Nothing to say about it. Then person can scroll up to 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. And if it's ending at a 10, it's super bad. He doesn't like anything about it. So really from good to bad. And on the other hand, the relevance for this person himself. So how important is communication? If someone gives something a 10 from the evaluation, so it's done horribly, but says, I don't care, and gives it a 1, then we have a number pair of 1 to 10, which actually tells this person isn't bothered at all. Yes, from a neutral point of view, he says it's done very badly, but I don't care, it doesn't impact me at all. So that's not a topic then. If he gives it a 7, which says, well, yeah, it's important, it's really important, and he judged it with a 9 at the beginning, then we have a pair of 7 and 9, and then this topic will immediately go into review afterwards in the framework. Okay, anything to add, Christopher, from a technical point of view?
I would add 2 things about how we work with the PAT tool. And the first one is whether you do it by yourself or you do it in a first session with Ingrid, we take what you describe, what you write into the tool or what you tell Ingrid, and we put it into a picture that is also really just self-reflective for you. Because if you're going through a change or you're scared or unsure of what to do, and sometimes your mind is not completely organized, but if we put it into a bit of a structured form, that's already a analysis of the data that you tell us, and you see a clear reflection of what you want to express, and then can of course also refine it if you say, oh no, that's not what I meant. And the other thing is we can refine our coaching approach with every coaching that we do by analyzing data keys from our previous experiences. For example, we might see a pattern with people who have been at a company for basically their whole career, and we might see a different pattern in what people tell us who switch their jobs every 2 years. So we use the data to reflect a better image of your situation back to you, and also to refine our approach for the future, for future clients.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Any other questions from anybody?
In the chat?
Is there anybody? There's still 3 people that haven't done the poll. I'll leave it open for another minute, but yeah, so if you want to participate, then please fill it out now.
I'm just checking in the chat, but no, there is no additional question in the chat. Okay. Then we close that. And we close.
We've got a question.
And there is one more question.
Yeah.
Agnieszka?
Maybe not maybe not the question, but I just wanted to say that, give a little bit of testimonial about work of Ingrid, because I had a pleasure to work with Ingrid, and I'm sorry, I have a really bad connection. I'm in the train currently, but I wanted to say that what I love about Ingrid is that all her work is really based on her tremendous experience with many, many years in the corporate sector. And she really approached the clients in a way that it's not just coaching, but it's actually blended approach with mentoring, which I truly appreciate. And that was something that really helped me building a lot of confidence when I was going through a reorganization, and helped me boost, prepared me for the next steps, and which with very positive outcomes. So I wanted to say thank you so much, Ingrid. And I just wanted to say that I cross fingers that all good, and would recommend to everybody to work with Ingrid, because it's going to be an amazing experience.
Wow. What a nice way to close. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward that we meet for a cup of coffee finally in a couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. With pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. And have a safe train trip. Where are you now at the moment?
I'm currently on the way to Basel from Frankfurt. Yes.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay. Hopefully no delays.
There is one, but it's okay.
Okay, it's okay.
But it's okay. And then connection is breaking down, so yeah, that's why. But it was lovely to see you. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes.
so much. It was really nice to work with you as well. So giving that back, you were a very, very good and nice client, helping me a lot to build all of this up as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Here you go. Saying, wishing everybody a nice evening. It's already, I don't know where all of you are, but it's approaching 8 p.m. So wherever you are, enjoy your evening. Have hopefully a nice glass of wine and have a good upcoming week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
for your
Bye.
support.
Bye-bye. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Bye. Take care.